That's why we did that.
Not enough meatballs for that.
Like that.
I'm just such a nice guy.
Okay, I'm going to slide in the advances in a second. I want to cover a couple things on movement. There's so much. I'm trying to dump so much on you guys, so I'm doing the best I can. So there's two things that I wanted to mention about movement. And nothing I'm telling, I want to make it clear again, everything I've said, none of it is pieces. They all go together to form one thing. Okay? The two other things on movement were the pie that we talked about, moving around. It doesn't matter whether you two are standing still in working range within, Ronison and I will sometimes work within an inch or two of each other. And I don't mean here, I mean here. Okay, now, okay, here I'm in, here I'm out. Okay, that's working range. So is this. Okay, it doesn't matter what speed we go at. All that matters is where we are in relation to each other. Okay? And I'm going to extrapolate on that in a little bit. So that's important to think about when you're moving. If somebody rushes, if you rush, if you go backwards, whatever direction you go, all that matters is where are the pies? When did they overlap? You'll notice as we ran back, I was outside of range. He accelerated to close, then I slowed down. What I was looking to do is get my pie, get him in my pie before he's ready to use his. Okay? Really, all I did was this. That's all I did. It happened to happen at this speed, but this is all I did. So that's important. Does that make sense? Okay? The second is the directions that you move when you move and how your body stays aligned during that. We talked about this foot position, right? This is important for everything we talked about, but also for your movement. When you get, whether it's you or somebody else, linear feet like this, what you have is somebody who can move very quickly forward and back. It's one of the reasons fencers fight this way is because modern fencing is lane fighting. They don't circle. It's all about control and range in a specific direction. Because they don't have to go laterally, they don't care. So they fight this way to maximize that. It's not how it works in our game. The opposite is this. Every now and then you'll see a Florentine fighter who will horse stance. Not wide because it's too fixed. He'll have the good distance, but he'll sit side by side. What this does is it maximizes his ability to whip left and right. So now he can roll out on you. But you know what? He can't come forward without falling in and shifting or falling back and catching himself. Okay? The next, that this is when you move, or for this, we want neither of those, really. We really don't want to move laterally and forward and back, although we will. Most of what we do is going to move on an X. So with my feet in this position, you notice they line this way, so the other part of my X is this way. Okay, so now when I move, instead of, in fact, let me do this for camera's sake, stand right in front of you. You know what, let me grab somebody smaller. I haven't picked on her yet, so I'll pick her. You just have to stand. Okay, stand right here facing me. Big stance. Okay. I can come at her, even with this stance, I can come forward. And this is good. But if I do this, and I don't time her attack or whatever, I'm, in essence, a fixed target. If I throw the same shot moving on an X, I become much more difficult to pick up. The X can go either way. Okay? If she comes to me, and I move on an X, now I've kept her in front of me, again, in my pie, her motion is this way. Now, because we did it slower and she's been paying attention, she's actually made some corrections here, which is excellent. The same goes the other direction. So she comes at me, I can actually step this way. So she's now because she's doing it right. She's doing what the attacker should be doing. If you come at somebody, this position, this stance facing me, that cross we talked about, that middle line that points at your opponent, the very first thing I talked about, that's the reason for that line. That line should not come off your opponent. If he comes one step towards me, and I sidestep him across, now my line is here, and my pie is here. He actually did it, he's slightly turned. His pie is this way, here, okay? So I'm facing this way, he's facing this way. Who has a problem? I have a problem, okay? So that's the reason for this X. If I'm not sure, and he comes forward, and I move off my X, I at least buy myself some time. But regardless of whether I go forward or back, this is what matters. Okay? Now I'm going to slide it into some of the advanced stuff.